kick off today, and that is with Tim Wither, who's Managing Director of Maximus Resources, and he's going to present on his project on gold, lithium and nickel in WA. Over to Tim.
Morning everyone. Thanks for the plug for juniors to do partnerships with majors. We've just done a deal with the South Korean government who are fully funding our exploration for lithium in Western Australia. So I like to start with this picture. This is a picture of the Wattle Dam gold mine. Mined over a very short period of time, in today's gold market, produced over $900 million worth of gold over a short period of time. And it's a great example of the reason why we're all here today, because of the enormous wealth that can be created when we make one of these high-grade discoveries. So this presentation has been uploaded to the ASX this morning. Feel free to read at your leisure there, or come and see us at a booth to grab a copy. So Maximus is granted mining tenements. We're located 25 kilometres from Kambalda. It sits in world-class geology. This region between Widjimutha and Kambalda has produced over 15 million ounces of gold, 1.4 million tonnes of nickel metal, making it a globally significant gold and nickel belt, and also fantastic infrastructure for a junior wanting going into production. And now this ground's becoming very significant globally for lithium, with our tenements wedged in between Mount Marion's Mineral Resources Mount Marion mine and the Pioneer Dome. At the end of December quarter, we had 2.1 in cash and also access to $4.6 million worth of lithium joint venture with the South Korean government. So Maximus, we're in a great position, having a robust gold resource over 335,000 ounces, which really underpins our current market capitalisation. Our focus is not to stop at the 335,000, but to grow to 500,000 and beyond, which we're comfortable in achieving, as demonstrated by a 300% increase in our gold resources over 2 years. Our gold project sits centred around the Wattle Dam Gold Project, where there's existing infrastructure and a series of high-grade gold resources. In the background, we've been working through some near-term production opportunities, and with gold price near record highs, makes toll treating very attractive to protect shareholders' value and also to fund future growth. The company has over 117 square kilometres of granted mining tenements in West Australia, and this is becoming more critical for land access in this area. As you can see on the image to the right, there's a very clear, distinct tracks of gold mineralisation, which, along with our advancements in our geological understanding, has really assisted us to better target and to grow our gold resources. So from top to the bottom is over 30 kilometres in a strike. National highway crosses our tenements, and we've got multiple toll treating options nearby on our doorstep. So fantastic geology, fantastic location. So zooming into our flagship project, Wattle Dam Gold Project, where in August we were really pleased to announce a 250% increase in our gold resources. So from the MRE, what we really wanted to show was what we've always believed, is that we're sitting on a large mineralised system, and this creates a base load for future resource production, shows significant exploration upside remains. And I like showing this image because this shows the extent of the mineralisation across this Wattle Dam Gold Project, and it's only limited by drilling, all lodes open at depth. You can see the regular repetition of these mineralisations from left to right is 2.2 kilometres. Also note on the right is 8500 North, which is our focus for upcoming drill programs in the coming quarter, and also the mineralisation at depth. We've been able to extend the redback lode down to 500 metres below surface, and this was through the co-funding drilling grant through the West Australian government, where we intersected 11 metres at 3.2 and 2.5 at 6. So it shows that we're sitting on a very open mineralised system. So this image really puts into perspective the opportunity for Wattle Dam project. Note that we've got 16 kilometres to north and 18 kilometres to the south. To the 2 kilometres to the east is Mandilla with Astral Resources, 1.25 million ounces, showing a very similar strike length into our Wattle Dam project. But the real prize for the company and shareholders is to find this repetition or continuity of the Wattle Dam high-grade lode. So as mentioned, one of Australia's highest grade gold mines, underground produced 15-gram dirt, and it's been our recent theory that there's been the main lode has been terminated by an east-dipping shear zone, so potentially giving a structural offset of this mineralisation to the western side, where there has been very, very limited no drilling at all. So to test this theory, we've drilled 3 deeper holes where we, on the western side of the shear zone, previously untested, we intersected 70 metres at 0.2 grams, not really significant, but for us, fantastic. We were able to see a clear representation of the same geology we see at Wattle Dam lode moved across to the western side. So this is another view of this structural offset that we've been looking for at the Wattle Dam project, noting that we're looking for a 40 to 80 metre long ore body over a quite large area. And to the advantage, this mineralisation around this high-grade lode has a distinct geochemical signature, and we've been able to use this. So the most interesting and the highest level of biotite alteration that we've seen in our drilling was to the north, and this sort of highlights that the structural offset is most probably a little bit further than we initially considered. But for a small deposit, and as mentioned, produced over $900 million worth of gold, if we were to find the continuity of this high-grade lode, it would be a game changer for the company. So, as mentioned, Maximus with multi-commodity exposure. We've got 2 advanced lithium projects. We're in West Australia, Australia's lithium corridor, so Larkinville and Lefroy. And due to our location and fantastic geology, we received a significant amount of inbound interest. Both our lithium projects are ungranted mining tenements. So this image shows the current joint ventures. We're encompassed by Mineral Resources joint ventures with several other juniors and investments in through to Cali Metals. Late last year, we announced a strategic partnership with the South Korean government agency Khmer over here in the East Coast. You know them as KORES, to earn 30% of one of our 2 lithium projects through the funding of $3 million US. So Khmer is responsible for ensuring the security of critical minerals into the South Korean market, and this extends into the development of overseas capacity to supply into the South Korean market. So South Korea, 3rd largest trade partner, home of world's 5 largest battery manufacturers, and produces a quarter of all electric vehicles sold in the world today. Behind the Khmer joint venture sits LG Energy Solutions, 2nd largest battery producer, 2nd largest public entity in South Korea, and they have the option to acquire Khmer's 30% and up to a 70% interest in our offtake. So significant partnership for Maximus and fully funded exploration program, whilst Maximus retains significant 70% increase, and this only covers one of our 2 lithium projects. So now looking at our Lefroy project, we're targeting a similar geology to Mount Marion, which sits 16 kilometres. We're sitting on the same geological structure that controls Mount Marion. We've mapped over 80 pegmatites, which are in the blue dots, and shows a series of predictable stacked pegmatites all dipping off to the southeast. So on execution of the Khmer joint venture, we started a tenement-wide, project-wide soil sampling program and a small scout 3,000 metre program. So the first phase of the soil sampling has really defined a significant anomalous lithium trend over 5 kilometres, and this is correlated significantly with our scout drilling program where we intersected spodumene-bearing pegmatites. So our initial Kandui project focused on legacy lithium in soil and several outcropping pegmatites. So this initial wide-space drill program successfully intersected several spodumene-bearing pegmatites. There's 2 important real factors about this initial scope scout drilling program. Is one that these intersected shallow blind pegmatites, which had a strong correlation with highly elevated lithium in soils, which highlights the opportunity for further discovery through lithium in soil mapping. And also, secondly, we confirm that we're able to confirm that these intersections were spodumene dominant mineralisation, challenging the previous understanding of these pegmatites in this area. So our second phase of the drill program, we've been targeting on the infill of this area. This is a 2 kilometre area. Note, Mount Marion deposit is 200 metres long. And so we're focusing on the infill and extension of this spodumene-bearing pegmatites at Kandui Prospect, while scout drilling our other discoveries at Landor and Kandui at Yulmia. So very quickly, our second project, which is encompassed by Mineral Resources joint venture with Marquee, we've used the learnings from the joint venture with Khmer and applied that to our Larkinville project, where we identified a very significant 200 parts per million lithium in soils anomaly. Correlates very well with several outcropping pegmatites, and for scale of this pegmatite, you can see our geologist sitting on in orange, sitting on that pegmatite down there. So quite large pegmatites, and so with the amount of corporate activity around there, everyone's very interested to see us start drill testing that. As mentioned, I'll talk quickly about nickel. As mentioned, we're in the heart of Australia's nickel industry, and Kambolda is 25 kilometres from our projects. So, or BHP's Kambolda concentrator. So given the current commodity cycle, what we're focusing on right now is low-cost soil mapping to build our project pipeline for when that commodity cycle changes. So we've got amazing geology, potential for a massive nickel sulphide discovery. We've had one at the start of last year. We've had 2 previously high-grade nickel mines on our tenements, and we have Widgie Nickels just sitting to the south of us with 13 million tonnes at 1.46% directly to our south. So today, the company's value, we're $10 million, 320 shares on issue. This gives the company EV of under $20 an ounce. This doesn't consider the value placed on the Khmer joint venture or our genuine lithium and nickel discovery potentials. Top 20 makes up 46%. Beacon Minerals, largest shareholder, they have their Geordie project 70 kilometres to the north of us. So Maximus, we're a small dynamic team looking across highly prospective ground. Over the last 2.5 years, we've demonstrated commitment to ensuring responsible capital allocation. 82% of all the money that we spend goes directly into the ground. We have not raised since August 2021. This has also resulted in a 300% increase on our gold resources over the last 2 years. So in summary, we've got a robust gold resource to leverage off, several toll treating options nearby, significant gold growth opportunities, and we've had demonstrated high-grade gold discovery potential. We've secured a very powerful strategic partner with Khmer Joint Venture to fully fund our lithium exploration program, and so once FIRB is approved, we'll be able to start that. So I appreciate your time this morning, and what I ask is add MXR to your watch list. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so look, thank you so much for that great presentation. Any questions? Just one at the back here. With questions, we do like to ask you to wait for the microphone, so thank you so much.
Eddie doesn't have a microphone.
It's working?
No.
Sorry, we do need it just for the video. Should be working.
Okay, yeah, go for it, Eddie.
So, Tim, Eddie Rigg from Argonaut. You've got 3 commodities in a small company, and all of the opportunities look really exciting, right? So how do you allocate your thought time, and what's your primary focus?
Yeah, so we've been running 80-20 rule, really, with prior to our Khmer joint venture. So 80% of our resources, time, capital, people go into gold, and we've been focusing that's been able to achieve 300%. Now with Khmer, I can release some of that capital and resource time people to our gold with having Khmer coming in as a joint venture. So we really get a free kick with Khmer, with the lithium joint venture. And we have really, for the lithium, we've been shooting fish in a barrel, outcropping pegmatites. We've moved really fast from discovery, and next phase is into the resource drill out. So it makes it a lot easier than the gold exploration.
Okay, so look, thank you so much for that. And
Thanks,
please thank Tim one more time.